Hello, hello, beautiful person watching this. I am so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire Ascension 20 Ironclad run. On this channel, I upload my recorded wins with some commentary and general discussion about this beautiful game that we play. Just having a look here, pretty happily taking the 250 gold start there. Only trading max health. And because on the higher Ascensions, you start every run damaged, not higher Ascensions, but on some Ascension, then when you take the minus max health option, you don't even actually lose any current health, making that option pretty tame. And we find a Pommel Strike there, immediately buying the membership card, which is basically free, and then we have a ton of options here at this shop. There is an Apotheosis, and there's a Pocket Watch. Card remove is there as well, of course. And yeah, I mean, Inflame is here as well, which is fine. Though unexciting. And unfortunately, Pocket Watch would basically not let me buy anything else, so I do take Apo after all. And I even buy Inflame. Just a little bit more scaling. Find a card remove again, so pretty ahead of schedule on card removes. I'm happy to remove a strike. And here, we actually don't want to Apo, so we'll take 2 extra damage. And we would not be able to break the shield. And sadly, didn't draw defend there, so taking 2 or 3 more. But that's alright, not too much damage. And we have it in Inflame, so Sword Boomerang is solid attack. And we need a little bit more help for a potential Gremlin Knob here, and we do indeed rip the Gremlin Knob. Kind of Hand Agree from Colorless Paw, that's not bad at all. Definitely, I think 30 damage is rather good. Gonna be skipping Apo yet again. Very sad. It'll be ready later. Inflame would have been enough there as well. And Armaments is trash here. We have Apotheosis, of course. I was gonna say Apo. And Second Wind, not quite yet. You don't have any skills. So take a little bit of an early power through there. Some nice front-loaded block that has a bit of a drawback if the fight tends to go longer. And drawing Inflame before Apotheosis here, sadly. And I should have played Power Through here, probably. Took 12 to save no wounds in my deck. But definitely a little bit questionable. Here I think it's reasonable to play Sword Boomerang over blocking for 2. But yeah, I could be at 50 health right now. And then my draw pile would be a bit worse. Accidentally playing Power Through there, just a misclick. Shuffling 2 wounds in for no reason, it was already dying. But we probably won't be drawing, or shuffling again, so no big deal. And we got there. So, found a Peace Pipe. We may remove cards at campfires. Find a Reaper, not bad. And forgot to mention we found a tiny chest as well, letting us get a treasure room every 4 question marks. And decided to key the War Paint there, which would upgrade 2 random skills. No need in my mind, since we already have this Apotheosis. I'd rather have the key and get a real relic later. Sadly, Inflame and Apotheosis bottom 5 cards here, so this Wake Up turn, very awkward. Choosing to play Strike over Defend there. Wanting to make sure it gets dead before it hits me the 3rd time. But could have gotten away with playing a Defend that one turn, I believe. Pretty comfortably. And find a Mummified Hands, an Energy Potion, and a Headbutt for some nice common attack plus deck manipulation. And of course, Mummified, very strong relic that reduces a card to 0 energy in our hand whenever we play power. So hoping to find some decent powers. And hoping that hits Bash, of course, or Reaper. Works. Hits Bash Reaper. Attack pots. And an interesting card award here. Some attacks, but Anger is definitely a very solid card, but for whatever reason, I just wasn't interested here. And Whirlwind is there. Happy with the Whirlwind. And then right into the Fungi Beast fight. That's convenient, but turns out it's actually pretty bad here. We do have Reaper in our deck, so we'd like to play that. Heal a bit from the 3 enemies. And should have actually played Defend before Inflame, so the Mummified hand would have hit Bash, so missed damage there for sure. One of them should be vulnerable and 13 health lower. Which could definitely matter. Probably just rip the energy pot here instead. And that's fine. And find another one anyway, so never punished. And find a Flame Barrier, an excellent block card, also does good against Hexaghost, hitting us multiple times. Definitely not going to say no to that. And these hard hallway fights are not messing around here, so I am using potions on them. And it's not like Attack Pod is that amazing against Hexaghost. Small burst of damage is not as impactful against the huge health pool, generally speaking. Though it could be. And power through amazing here, blocking for 17, that's really, really good. Got lethal. Another Pommel Strike is here. Still pickable. Considered a Sentinel as well. And Heavy Blade even. Definitely a real thing to consider here. You have an Inflame in my deck, and it'll be upgraded. So, hitting for quite a lot, but no thanks. And a card remove over upgrading because we have Apotheosis. So Apotheosis is making an excellent combination with this Peace Pipe here. Generally, Peace Pipe it's good, especially if you're playing like the Watcher, I suppose. But it's not that good because even though you are perhaps wanting card rewards enough, or card removes enough to forgo upgrades, you are still losing the upgrade. And it's not just a free upgrade, in other words. So the actual value of Peace Pipe is the value of the card remove minus the value of whatever card you would have upgraded. But here we have Apotheosis, so there's basically no downside. Not missing anything. And the same is true with things like Fusion Hammer, preventing you from upgrading cards and stuff like that. Lesson learned as the Watcher as well. And Immolate, Impervious, Corruption, all good cards. Take the Corruption, we have a Mummified Hand, and I think Corruption has the highest potential of those. And then take a Slaver's Collar over what I would call the trash in the situation. And definitely looking for a store. We have Mummified Hand, so we basically have 600 gold right now. And we're looking for 3 elites. So could go either way. But if I take this early shop here, then I would not get 3 elite path. Is there any 3 elite path, in fact? I'm not sure. I saw one there. Flame, get lucky and hit bash. Pretty good. Playing in Flame there was better either way, though. Bit awkward. Could go Apotheosis, Pommel Strike, and then hopefully draw the Flame Barrier, and then play the Flame Barrier, and block for a lot. Seems reasonable. And I considered playing Defend, but then I realized that Sword Boomerang would get it to 6 health, which then the first hit from Chosen would kill itself. Totally fine. And once again, I'm presented Heavy Blade as an option, and some other cards. Could have taken a Warcry, pretty much inconsequential, but I just passed. Doesn't really matter. Probably wrong not to take it. And I take a bag of prep for only 80 gold, that's amazing. And still left with 238 gold to play with. And we really, really want Feel No Pain and Dark Embrace because we have a Corruption in our deck. And a Mummified Hand. So I buy Frozen Egg. An excellent relic if I'm looking to add these powers to my deck. Would also be fine with some other powers as well. A Metallicize would be fine. Another Inflame could be fine as well. And against the birds here, hoping to find a Flame Barrier. But we didn't find it, so I may just rip the Energy Pot to Whirlwind. As long as we attack 4 times, they will fall down. Didn't have to do this, just want to get them dead, and then there's a Reaper involved as well, perhaps. But even if there isn't, then it doesn't actually matter. And there's Flame Barrier to finish them off. Only missing 3 health, so no need to try to be greedy and wait around for that Reaper. And our first power is a Rupture. We have no way to damage ourselves. Worth considering still for speculation. It's basically 0 cost or better because we have Mummified Hand. But not against a Shockwave. Shockwave is really good, especially with Corruption. And would love more ways to apply a Vulnerable and some Weaken. Good skills for Corruption equals good. Not exactly sure what I'm thinking about here. On the map. Apparitions are here. I am not a fan of this. And Obamori is here, preventing the next 2 curses that we receive. Spoiler, Obamori has 2 charges as we kill the heart. Very sad. Don't want to take this hit from the fat gremlin, which would debuff us, so I Whirlwind. And it sadly does debuff us here. And I know it's not going to be hitting us next turn, so take the bash to reapply Vuln. And I want to draw Apotheosis, of course. Bottom card, very sad. It's not hitting us. Always Apotheosis good. Considered playing Reaper, but none of the minions would actually die. I'll just Whirlwind them instead. It's making more minions again. So I can play 1 Pommel Strike, and if I don't draw the Reaper, I can just wait and Reaper. Heal for a bit more. Healing me for 16, basically. Because I would have been at 52 health. I didn't do that. Find an Unseizing Top. If we ever have 0 cards in our hand during our turn, we will draw a card. It can be a bit tough to get that to work. But if you can, it can be pretty powerful engine. And some good cards here. Disarm, a premium attack common, arguably, or a attack common, premium uncommon. Definitely among the best uncommons in the game. But there was also Metallicize. We have not a lot of block and Mummified Hand, so I take that instead. A bit questionable, for sure. Disarm is such an amazing card, and I know it. And it was upgraded for some reason. I was interested in this Metallicize, and I think the tiebreaker was I'm going against Automaton, which doesn't care too much about disarm with the Hyper Beam, and it's hard to disarm it at all because it has big artifact charges. I was interested in not dying to the Act 2 boss, to be sure. We have Corruption to play against Snecko, so we'll just be playing whatever skills we need to in order to block for enough to make it out with 6 or less missing health. And therefore effectively full health. True Grit is here, a consideration for my exhaust kind of stuff. Could get rid of wounds. Oh, I do take it. Pretty good. It's not amazing here, but it's good. And the Apotheosis, of course, upgrading it for us is rather good. And find a Bottled Tornado. Seems obvious to put it on Corruption, I would say. But this deck is not exactly going well for this Corruption thing. We don't have Dark Embrace. We don't have any particularly expensive skills that we really want to put in play. And we have a Power Through. And Power Through goes well with Second Wind, which is a different engine for exhausting your cards. And we also may want to play some cards multiple times. And Corruption, of course, gives them all exhaust. So I instead opt to put Metallicize in my opening hand, which is cheaper, so easier to put in play consistently. And I will always want to have in play, as opposed to the Corruption, which in some fights I may not. Definitely won't want to play it on turn 1 against Automaton. So I am someone who is very high on Corruption. I think it's possibly the best card. I mean, when you pair with the Dark Embrace one, of course. But you have to be able to determine, you know, why is it good, when is it good, and I just think in this case it's underperforming with the things I'm being offered. So I'm keeping my mind open. I may want something else. May want to lean out of Corruption after all. If I happen to find the Dark Embrace, great, then I can just go. But spoiler, I do not find a Dark Embrace all run. So I do indeed stop playing Corruption at some point, sometimes. If you need the speed that Corruption gives you, making everything cost 0, then it can be very powerful, but otherwise it's actually kind of like an aggro card. You choose to get rid of your entire deck to play it faster, basically. But if you can avoid doing that, if you can get value instead, then it might be better to not play it. And Juju Bracelet, also very sad. So some very stinker relics all in a row, this whole act. And find another shop, that's pretty lucky. There's a Feel No Pain here, so very happy about that. And a Bloodletting, excellent card. Purity's also here. Could have taken a Purity. But with Corruption, I didn't think that made too much sense, and we're not going infinite or anything. But we definitely could have, if we found a Dropkick or a Flash Steel at any point in the run, but never did either of those. Or 2 Dropkicks and or dual wield, whatever. And so it's getting to the point where I'm having a hard time finding a good card to remove. So I just leave and save my money. I have a lot of money. And then another card move. I actually meant to remove anyway here, but I accidentally hit defend, upgrade all defends, which doesn't do anything, so Apotheosis really. So definitely meant to remove. I mean, removing a defend is definitely better than upgrading my defense here, but bit of a misclick. It's okay. We'll live. Slavers, full blocking on turn 1 is pretty nice, a little bit unusual. Could have ripped the flex bot. But saving it, it seems. And yeah, it's looking actually pretty good for us here. Power of Feel No Pain, Corruption so far. We have this nice little middle point here where our deck is so strong with Corruption and Feel No Pain involved at the same time. And we did find an Evolve Plus, which I forgot to mention. But since we do have this one copy of Power Through, then the Evolve Plus would kind of fill the void that Dark Embrace is leaving right now. Definitely good in this fight, where the middle Slaver shuffles a lot of wounds in. And find a meal ticket. If we enter a shop, we'll gain 15 health. Not that great here, sadly. We are interested in visiting shops, but we don't have that much max health, and we don't seem to be missing much health. We have a Reaper healing us a lot. Again, thinking about a card move here. It's hard to find a card that I want to take out. Just defend, probably. Defend plus. So I could have down to 1 defend here, which would have been pretty nice. But like, because I have this corruption, my deck is already so small. It's good to have a small deck, though, when you want to find Apotheosis as fast as possible, of course. Definitely one of them cards. It's really important to find if you're building your deck with it in mind. But yeah, I had to think for quite a bit here. My attacks are pretty good. Headbutt's a nice deck manipulation card, and Sword Boomerang is like the only way I'm benefiting from having strength from Inflame. So definitely don't want to get rid of those. I play Corruption. I'm a little bit surprised that I played so aggressively, but I guess I was just very confident that I would get there fast enough. Which is fair enough. So I'm going to be choosing to not play my skills when I don't have to. All of them are very, very strong. They are upgraded. They exhaust, therefore getting some block from Feel No Pain. And they, of course, do something on their own. So, going to be waiting until I'm getting attacked and then playing them. And here I have the Metallicized block and the block from exhausting the Curse. So, don't need to play that last skill. Yeah, this fight's going well. And Evolve will be cooking with these wounds. Here's the big Hyper Beam turn. And just play all of my skills now. Only take 10 damage, and then I can Reaper. Here's why we saved the Reaper. And yeah, what a very good fight. Only, basically, yeah, full health. Filling up to full health. Very, very good. And Limit Break is here. Another Reaper is also here. But at this point, we're definitely looking for some scaling. So normally Limit Break is a card I'm not super high on or anything, but definitely clicking that. I need to get there. And there's a reason not to play Corruption, because if we Apotheosis and have Limit Break, then Limit Break will get Exhaust taken away, and therefore we could possibly exhaust our whole deck with the True Grit. And if we find a second wind, that'd be great. And then keep playing Limit Break over and over and over, eventually getting so much strength that basically just full heal with Reaper, even if we take a while. And then just kill our enemies that way. And so even more incentive to not play Corruption. It's definitely still going to be played in some fights when it's, it's the case that in one shuffle we'll be killing the enemies if we do play Corruption. Definitely fine to play it there, but some fights might want to avoid playing it so we can scale more. Looking for a shop and some elites, of course. And we're interested in question marks a bit more than usual because we have Omamori, so any event that might be bad because it presents us a curse is no longer bad. We can avoid the curse. Definitely should be considering question marks a bit more than normal if you have that Omamori with charges. We could even take the 999 gold and get 2 normalities in your deck. I am rich from Mind to Bloom. We never find it, and Omamori has 2 charges. So we did find a Runic Pyramid, of course, preventing us from discarding our hand at the end of each turn, and that will eventually be very, very strong. Still have 3 energy in these hallway fights. And suddenly the wounds are a bit clogging our hand, so would like more ways to exhaust target card in our hand, or all non-attack cards like Second Wind, or just all cards from Fiend Fire. Otherwise, the Evolve is never going to draw cards with these wounds ever again, which would be a shame. There's another Flame Barrier or a Body Slam. I pass on both. And Following is here. Definitely getting rid of Shrug over Corruption or Reaper, I believe. And a Horncleave is here. On turn 2, we gain 14 block. That's a premium relic. Very, very strong. Among the best. And we get Sensory Stone. Get to look at 3 uncommon card rewards. There's a Signature Plus, of course, with our Frozen Egg, but not interested in that, sadly. And Panacea is there. It's a card that exhausts and gives us an artifact, which is just good, and then we may be able to find some synergy with that. Any card that can apply a status to ourselves. And we do have 2 Flex Potions, which makes that a bit better, because if you have an artifact charge and you Flex Potion, it will prevent the strength minus that occurs. So basically just permanent 5 strength for that fight. And I should have played Corruption here, probably. But I choose to do this, kind of hoping that it hits it. And play Evolve, hoping it hits it yet again. So I was trying to play another power to then discard the Corruption to 0 and play it, but not working out that way. And so Corruption here is actually very awkward. It's like a little bit slow. But here I should have played it yet again, of course. Corruption, Flame Barrier, Defend Plus looks pretty good. But I also was thinking I need to kill these things, of course. So not completely unreasonable. But this is definitely looking like a bit of an oof. Finally use a Flex Bot, which I probably should have used earlier, especially because I had a Panacea. So it's permanent 5 strength. Finally playing the Corruption. Now I'll draw an Apo. And you get rid of a wound over a burn, because the burns go away. And the wounds don't. And we're out. Already played Reaper. A rough fight, but we made it through and find a bird face turn, healing us for 2 health whenever we play a power, and a Second Wind is here. So suddenly the Second Wind, unless we have to play Corruption, is probably going to be taking the place of Corruption in our deck. And Corruption still has a role, of course. It can be good, as I've said, but this is just more of a Second Wind kind of deck. So we got our power through back with the headbutt here, so we can play it again. And we no longer mind putting a million wounds into our hand, because we can get rid of them all eventually. Looking at 5 cards, first goes white. There is Second Wind. Play the Limit Break first, probably. And so here we go. In Second Wind, our whole hand away, including the Corruption. Gain a much block. And then just make sure that we play Power Through and or Limit Break before playing the Second Wind. And we're good to go. I could have waited on the Reaper, to be sure. Probably missed a little bit of health there. Could be at full. You can see the line. And Preserved Insect is there. Reducing the health of elites by 25% and also making them tiny. Very cute. And another Flame Barrier Body Slam reward is here. Not particularly interested in either of those. Now that we're doing the strength scaling thing, there's no need for the Body Slam. Kind of already have a line to victory, so the Body Slam just kind of there, getting in the way. Very sadly. But with the Corruption and Feel No Pain, it could have been a thing. If I had a Dark Embrace, then it's a lot more reasonable to think we're going to block a lot in one turn. And Second Wind is also blocking for a lot, but yeah, no need. And the designer inspires here, and this is a very strange example. We have Transform 2, which could have been fine, but not super exciting here. And we have the cheapest option of this upgraded card, which basically does nothing. It could upgrade like Inflame, which we may draw before Apotheosis, but that's pretty much it. And there's also remove and upgrade a random card. Again, the upgrade doesn't really do a lot, and they all cost gold, basically double gold, because we have membership card. If you think about it like that. So it's kind of like we have 500 and whatever gold, 70 something. Math. But so yeah, no need to spend so much gold. So take the 5 damage. Definitely unusual for me. It took me quite a while to decide that I wanted that. But I stand by the decision to punch that guy in the face. And it might be the first time I've ever done that, actually. Please clap. And I want to save Shockwave to hit all of the minions. Possibly want to play Corruption also. But didn't draw Whirlwind or Reaper. This is very spooky. So this is the Nightmare Repta turn, where you're getting hit for 100. What am I getting hit for right now? 32 plus 50. Yeah, it's actually 100. It's exactly 100. So yes, Repto, man. Turn 2 Repto and you're like a slow deck is so brutal. And we have to find a way out here. To make sure to kill the minions that are hitting me for 25. That takes care of that. But not too bad. Got to weaken all of them. Kill the ones that are hitting for a lot. Only take a little bit of damage after all. And Reaper is here, but not dealing enough. Still not dealing enough. Take the damage here, and then the minions die when they're hitting you for 25. Which actually is bad, because I wanted the Reaper. But it's fine, getting close to full health anyways. And now we're cooking all of a sudden, evolves in play. The wounds are drawing us cards. We're exhausting everything. So after a horrifying turn 2, we make it out. And now Disarm Mr. Prism Italicized is here yet again. Definitely taking Disarm this time. Not even close. Molten Egg is here, upgrading all of our attacks so that we add to our deck from now on. Completely worthless at this point. Definitely, generally speaking, the worst of the eggs anyway. Even if you find it early. If you find it in Act 1, it's pretty good. And then, sadly, at this point, we're not too interested in adding more attacks to our deck. It's definitely a fight you can play Corruption in. It'll be over pretty quickly. And when you have Corruption in play, it becomes a lot more likely that the card that you want to be discounted by Mummified Hand does get hit, because all the skills cost 0, so they cannot be targeted by the Mummified Hand. Already cost 0. I missed a Reaper there, but it's only 1 health, and I was thinking I might need it more in a bit, I guess. A flex is here, and I almost didn't even notice this flex. But we have Panacea in our deck, which gives us artifact charge, which is very interesting. So we, for the same reason as the flex pots, you can Panacea, you have an artifact charge, and then you can flex, and you won't receive the strength minus anymore. At the end of your turn, lose the strength debuff thing. And once again, we're at a shop. Take a artifact charge at the start of each combat, which is good, and another limit break. So suddenly, we're gaining so much strength with this flex and our inflame and 2 limit breaks. And then the clockwork souvenir giving us an artifact charge will confirm that we can most likely flex and then keep the strength as well. And considered a mango, also considered Akapeko, but it's a bit late for it. And sadly that evolve is not Dark Embrace. Not interested in more copies of evolve. Draw first. And saving the inflame for when I draw Apotheosis, I guess. I want more strength. And this giant head is in peril. Holy moly. We are about to gain so much strength. And a bit awkward here. Pretty much doing nothing, our hand here. But we want to get cards out of our hand. We can draw more cards. Gotta figure out what to get rid of. Get rid of the Corruption. Corruption. We are officially Andy from Toy Store. We don't want to play with you anymore. Is that his name? Andy? Disney fans writing in my comments already. And this is cute. I have Runic Pyramid. I don't even need to play these wounds yet. And just keep them, and then whenever I want a second wind, they give me so much block. Double limit break, second wind. And even if we happen to take any damage, we have this Reaper sitting in our hand. Very nice. We find a Dreamcatcher. Whenever we rest, we get to see a card award screen. And another flex is here. I don't remember if I take this one or not. Definitely a bit questionable. Another Body Slam is here. Again, now we have 2 limit breaks, so strength is not doing a lot for us. I mean, Body Slam's not doing a lot for us. Strength isn't doing a lot for Body Slam, I should say. And we do indeed take a second flex. That's very exciting. And this tiny chest is not cooking. We receive another bottle. It's on attacks this time, and that is pretty much worthless. It gets in the way of drawing Apotheosis. No attack we want that badly. So yeah, very sad. If only it was bottled light. We found both of the bottles that are bad. And like, we bought Frozen Egg earlier, but we would have liked Toxic Egg a lot more. But none of the eggs are good this run. You know, Apotheosis. And actually, like, now that I say that out loud, buying that Frozen Egg is kind of questionable. But the thing about powers is that they only get played once. So if you are drawing them before the Apotheosis and you want to get them in play as fast as possible, then the fact that they're upgraded actually does matter, as opposed to attacks, which don't really matter. Could just went power through headbutt there. Doesn't actually matter, but I forgore the head lethal. Suddenly, the power is very obvious. We are gaining so much block and so much strength. And on the last floor, we're offered a demon form, which might not even be good here. We already have enough strength. But of course I'm clicking Demon Form Plus. How can you not click Demon Form Plus here? And take the key. So only 68 max health is a little bit scary against this woke bird here. We are pretty power-based here. Definitely interested in playing powers. And this fight was actually very awkward and a bit of a close call, so I'd like to see if I did anything wrong or anything like that. I do pass instead of putting Pommel Strike on top. I'd rather just draw the card for 0 instead of having to play the Pommel Strike again. And then here, definitely got to play that and that, I think. No way to draw more cards. Could play Inflame to draw an extra card here. That's probably a mistake not to. And I do. Okay. So I am giving the bird strength, of course, which is very bad because it hit me for ×4. And so here we are. A very awkward turn. Getting attacked for 94 damage with 34 health remaining. And no block in our hand, pretty much. We do have a corruption. So the goal is to flex, limit break Reaper, and not die the Lord. Also, we'd like to play this disarm. I was considering doing everything here. Flex pot and dupe pot on disarm to reduce the Dwoke Burst damage by 24. That's 6 times 4. And then that way I would kill the birds, the cultists, and heal to full health, and live from the Woke Bird's big hit here. But the problem with this is corruption has to hit Reaper. Or the mummified hand proc from playing corruption has to hit Reaper, or I can't play Reaper, which would be really bad because I wouldn't be able to kill the birds or heal. So I have to find a way out here, and so I draw with Pommel Strike and hope that I hit something good. I do hit Bloodletting, and it also, if the card I draw with Pommel Strike is a skill, then it makes the mummified hand more likely to hit Reaper, because all the skills would go to 0 cost anyway. So then it would have been a 50-50 if this was the case. Or either Headbutt or Reaper. But I do hit the Bloodletting after all, so I now can play Reaper no matter what happens. I should have Panacea'd before the Flex Pot there. That was a small mistake. So I'm going to be losing 5 strength instead of 2 strength. Play everything. And the corruption did still hit Reaper. The mummified hand, rather. I still considered dupe pot even, but then I realized, nope, I'm good now. So still take a bunch of damage. But we have so much strength now, there's no way. I should have just played Roland here. But I wanted to save it for some reason. And now I'm good to go. And just Shockwave Whirlwind and it's dead. So a very scary fight there. Almost died, but found our way out. And this is what, like, no feed in your deck does. If you just had a feed early on, we would have had like 100 something health there and not had to worry about just suddenly dying. And then eventually limp break our way up to a huge feat, or a Reaper. Low health pool can result in something like that happening. Time meter should be much easier for us. Can disarm that guy and then slowly work on our strength. As long as we find our power through, feel no pain, second wind combo before taking too much damage, then we should be good. And apotheosis, of course. Playing Panacea a little bit early there before drawing our Apotheosis, sadly. Only one artifact. No big deal. So, choosing not to play Power Through there, I want to draw more cards. The 2 wounds in there would have been very sad. Okay, we're taking a little bit of damage, as long as we don't die. Pretty bad bottom 4 there. Would love to have that Demon Form in play, I feel no pain in play. Hate to see it. Probably gonna Bloodletting here. Just a little bit too slow not to. I can flex, gaining permanent 4 strength. The limit break plan going a little bit early. That way, making sure I draw 5 cards. Or more with Evolve. There we go. Create a wound. Light Power Through and a limit break, probably. No need to Reaper yet. Could heal us to full health. As long as we don't die. That's a good looking turn. Yep. And I could headbutt a limit break on top as well. It's a great turn. And we win. And here's why Sword Boomerang is good. Good in the right context, anyway. Gaining so much benefit from having strength. So, a bit of a spooky Act 3 boss gauntlet, but making it through. And considering what to upgrade or remove. I think I decide... Oh, Bash already went, huh? I didn't comment on that earlier, but yeah, Bash. Removing Bash over Defend is reasonable. Bash is unimportant when you have 400 strength. You don't actually need to scale your damage anymore. You already have plenty. Another Feel No Pain is only 20 gold. That's quite a bargain. And I buy Lizard Tail as well, just in case. Hoping to not have to use it on this fight. Sadly, Metallicize is not getting discounted there. It's all good. And Horncleat cooking, gaining us 14 here. Very nice. And I start doing the limit break thing already, it seems. Limit break. Unupgraded would block for 4 there. We have Feel No Pain. And I don't have any way to point at the shield here to turn around, sadly, so taking the full damage there. Could play Corruption in this fight. It's not completely unreasonable. Looks like I get rid of it though. And Runic Pyramid preventing you from getting punished by forgetting about Runic, the Unseizing Top, of course, very nice. And we get out, not too bad. And we find Centennial Puzzle. First time we take damage, we will draw 3 cards. Pretty good. I immediately use it by playing a card. And then I play Flame Barrier before playing Apotheosis, so I'm blocking the Beat of Death damage. Of course. You can play Shockwave or Disarm later. Bloodletting is going to be very useful here, letting us play Demon Form and Disarm at the same time. No need to play to defend and waste it. We have 2 cards getting exhausted there. And Panacea's here, can now Panacea flex. And some strength. And playing Flame and both limit breaks. No real need to disarm here. We already disarmed, so So we may want to save this one for after it cleanses its strength the first time. Or it cleanses its debuff. But the problem with this is we don't have a way to break the artifact charters anymore because we got rid of uppercut, or bash. So it turns out this disarm is now useless. But it will at least block for us a little bit. And here I was considering playing Second Wind just to get all this stuff out of my deck. But we are getting rid of the Burn and the Ascender's Bane already, and we can play Whirlwind for 0. So it turns out we don't actually have that many cards in our hand. I should have probably used it here. Disarm at least. Disarm. I can't get through this though. A little bit awkward. And I didn't use dupe pot here, I don't think, so should have just used it on a limit break and gained a billion strength, but I was saving it for a rainy day. And strength pot. Flex pot. Now I just rip it. Gain all my block. Do a full 200 damage very comfortably. And then now, as long as I don't die in the next 3 turns, I'll be totally fine. Not sure why I played that. Oh, Beat of Death, of course. How foolish. Yeah, I mean, I could have just limit break to 200 strength and then any attack would immediately kill, but I know it's not hard to deal enough. And I'm saving the Second Wind just in case, you know, sort of a last hurrah. If I click that Second Wind, and all of my skills are done. And no need to do it quite yet. When I'm blocking for enough to not die anyway. And I have a Reaper still. Doesn't matter what I do here, we've already won, but being here, it is the last boss after all. And we made it. So without proccing the limit break. 917 gold membership card. That is quite a relic, guys. Don't forget to buy those. Merchant drives quite a bargain. And then, yeah, a lot of bad relics here. Juicer Bracelet pretty much doing nothing. Meal Ticket healed me for 1. Molten Egg did nothing. Dreamcatcher did nothing. And Lizard Tail, although some good insurance, didn't do anything either. Unceasing Top was pretty much useless here as well. And Tiny Chest was okay, though unexciting. And we found both bottles as well that weren't Bottled Lightning, which were pretty bad. And those weren't great either. But definitely not complaining. Other relics were pretty good. Peace Pipe was overperforming with Apotheosis involved. And overall, our deck was pretty good here, so definitely happy about this run. Birdface Turn, of course, was a great pickup. That's 66 health. So, a pretty cool Ironclad run. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a beautiful day.